Over the past 3 years, Playboi Carti has managed to sign multiple artists to his Opium label, with each of them having incredibly successful careers so far. However, being popular rappers isn't the only thing they all have in common, as Carti and his signees all have dark twisted pasts that cast a cloud over the Opium label and make the listeners question their decision to support these artists. So here are the disgusting allegations of the Opium label.
On the 19th of August at approximately 4:15 AM, police responded to a phone call to the Grand Bohemian Motel in reference to a battery, where a female stated that Kenyatta Frazier, aka Ken Carson, hit her while they were in their room. She would then provide a sworn written statement explaining the incident, where she stated she came to visit Ken at approximately 5 PM, and that approximately 30 minutes later, Ken attacked her by physically tossing her around the room. She further stated that she sustained a cut to her right ear, a small cut to her nose, and a bruised hip. Ken also supposedly took her phone and would not give it back to her. A couple hours later at 3 AM, she would be attacked by Ken Carson again. The woman then stated that she left the room but then had to come back due to her leaving disinfectant spray, which she wanted to use to help with her cuts she sustained. But Ken wouldn't open the door for her, so she couldn't get the spray. The police would then ask Ken what was going on and why he thought the woman would call the police, where he acted clueless and didn't know why she would call the police, and that nothing happened. He said the only thing that happened was that he took her phone. He further added that he was a rapper and that he left at approximately 8 PM to perform a show, 3 hours after the altercation with his girlfriend. So in summary, Ken came to visit her at around 5 PM, where they got into a bit of a scuffle. He then left at 8 PM to go perform at a show, where he would come back at 3 AM and they got into a scuffle again. The police stated in a report that they observed a small cut to the woman's right ear, nose, and a possible bruise to her left hip. Then on the 20th of August in 2021, Ken Carson was arrested for domestic violence. However, he would be soon released. He would even contact fans, where he stated in messages, "Why do people think I fought a female? I fought a man, lol." However, in the police report, it states that the victim was Ken Carson's boyfriend, so wait a minute. But nah, the police report used the pronouns her, so it was obviously a female that he got into an altercation with. However, just a month later on the 27th of September, the charges would be dismissed. Now this situation is very similar to the cases Playboi Carti has had with domestic violence, who Ken is of course signed to. Playboi Carti would be arrested in 2017 at LAX after he got into a scuffle with his girlfriend at the time, Ruby Rose, where he would be released and get all the charges dropped. Same with his baby mama, Brandy, in 2023, where he nearly put her to sleep over a paternity test. He would then be arrested for domestic violence on a pregnant victim, released, and get the charges dropped again. It seems like a reoccurring thing, and like these Opium lawyers are just too good. Sorry to interrupt the video, but if you guys are enjoying so far, I'd appreciate if you could subscribe. I'm trying to get to 20k ASAP. Also like and comment. Thank you, let's get back into the video. Now, this wouldn't be the only altercation that Ken Carson would get into with the police. Later, in the 20th of November in 2021, Ken Carson would also be arrested on gun charges. He would be charged under the sections 25400A2, which is for carrying a firearm, and 25850A, which is carrying a loaded firearm in a public place, vehicle, or prohibited area. The rest of the documents for this case are classified, but it's nothing serious, just an adult man getting arrested for some random ass gun charges. Another time Ken Carson would get into a pretty physical altercation with the police was after making a surprise appearance at Lil Uzi Vert's Atlanta concert on the 6th of November in 2023 for his Pink Tape tour. There was a video of the incident where it seemed like Ken was trying to leave the stage until him and the police officer started exchanging some words. The video then cuts to them tussling until it gets abruptly cut off by Opium J smacking the phone out of the fan's hand. From another POV, the cop literally had Ken in a chokehold, pinned against the wall. But that's pretty much all we got from that situation, since neither the police, Ken, or anyone made a statement. The final brawl Ken would get into is at a festival in 2023. While Carti was performing on stage, Ken, Lil 88, and Opium Baby would be seen fighting a security guard and flipping him over the barrier. Now this was just another silly little event, which was apparently due to him not being allowed to smoke.
After signing to Opium in 2021, Lone has had an incredibly successful career with no beefs, allegations, or problems. Since signing, he's dropped 2 studio albums, No Stylist and If Looks to Kill, and was now beginning the rollout of his 3rd studio album, Love Lasts Forever, with fans expecting this to be Lone's killer project, which will send him mainstream. However, this rollout was anything but that. The first allegation we would receive about Lone is when on the 7th of May, multiple rap pages would start circulating record searches and court documents of someone under the name Bobby Sandimane being arrested for a simple battery family violence charge, where in the court documents it stated stated, Bobby Sandimane is being charged with simple battery family violence against a woman called Imani Childs, occurring on the 20th of November in 2023. Now at first, fans started debunking this supposed arrest. Firstly because the man in the documents was under the name Bobby Sandimane, whereas Lone is called Bobby Sandimane III, which was perfectly understandable, two different names. However, according to the United States Department of State, they say name suffixes junior, senior, second, third, etc. may be added or dropped based on the applicant's preference on Form DS11, regardless of whether they appear on the applicant's evidence of citizenship, nationality, or ID. Meaning on paperwork, you don't have to include junior, second, or third, meaning it could have been Lone. Then secondly, at the time, Destroy Lonely's girlfriend was going under the name Aisha Mia on Instagram, meaning fans presumed her real name was Aisha Mia. However, fans did some digging and started putting her Twitter username and the woman's name from the court documents, Imani Childs, into the Twitter search engine, which would show us multiple tweets from Aisha Mia on Twitter where she says her name is actually Imani Childs. Especially with this particular tweet, my name is Imani Childs, who the F are you? And then the final piece of evidence to confirm that it was in fact Destroy Lonely was that the birthdates of the alleged suspect lined up with Destroy Lonely's real birthday. With all the facts and evidence lining up, everyone was aware that this was actually Destroy Lonely. Now onto the charge Lone actually received, simple battery family violence. What does this mean? Using the Wozniak Law blog site, they state that a family violence battery in Georgia is identical to a battery, except that it contains an additional family relationship element. While battery and family violence battery are very similar, the consequences are not. Family violence battery has very serious consequences that many do not know about. Both family violence battery and battery occur when someone intentionally causes substantial physical harm or visible bodily harm to another. Any type of slap, punch, or physical contact that leaves a mark is generally enough to constitute a battery charge. A simple battery charge results when there is no mark or evidence of injury. So in summary, this means Destroy Lonely intentionally harmed Imani Childs, or Aisha Mia, whatever you want to call her, causing substantial physical harm or visible bodily harm to her, which if you stick around to the end of the video, you will see all about that. So this charge Lone got is only a misdemeanor and carries a sentence up to 12 months in jail and a maximum fine of $1,000 for first-time offenders. So if we actually delve into the court documents, we can get a further insight into what went down. So as I stated previously, Bobby Sandimane, Destroy Lonely, was arrested on the night of the 20th of November in 2023 for a simple battery against Imani Childs, also known as Aisha Mia. So at first, it seems like Destroy Lonely was charged with the offence simple assault, which went through at 10:15 AM on the 21st, a day after his arrest. However, 4 hours later at 2:35 PM, his charge was changed to simple battery family violence. After he was charged, he was granted bond and released with special conditions, which included that he has no further contact with the alleged victim, Imani Childs, meaning that both of them are not allowed to speak, call, text, and probably not be in a certain vicinity of each other. However, at the start of December, just around 2 weeks after Destroy Lonely's arrest, Imani had requested to have the bond condition to be modified from no contact to no violent contact, meaning you can have contacts but no verbal or physical altercations. Now, reading an email exchange between Lone's lawyer, who, fun fact, is Colette Steele, who is Brian Steele's wife, which if you didn't know, is Young Thug's lawyer and is defending him in the YSL RICO trial. Anyways, in an email exchange between Steele and Imani, Steele stated that Imani should not attempt to call Lone like she and her mother tried to over Thanksgiving weekend, meaning Imani is the one that reached out to Lone first and wanted the no contact condition to be dropped, which at the time suggested to us that they may have made up and were trying to either talk to each other again or sort things out, which made things look slightly less serious. Now, after all this information about Lone's arrest was revealed, fans were very disappointed, especially as Lone was one out of the two last standing Opium members to have no allegations against them. As we know, Carti has had multiple domestic charges against him, Ken had one previously, and then Bino, who has cupcake allegations against him in the past. But overall, really, the community wasn't that bothered, unfortunately, which is not a surprise as majority of rappers have domestic abuse or violence charges against them, so most fans are used to it and use the excuse separate art from the artist so they don't feel guilty listening to that particular rapper. Or in many cases, these fans don't even see these rappers as real people, just fictional characters on the internet, and if anything, these arrests and situations make them feel a closer connection to the artist. But even so, Destroy Lonely is innocent until proven guilty, with his trial starting in the June of 2024. Now forward a couple of weeks into May, it seemed like him and Imani had reconciled, as he would comment "I love you" under one of her Instagram posts, but unfortunately got no reply back. Now forward to the June of 2024, fans started noticing that Lone had changed as a person and was developing a seriously unlikable personality, which did not make him look any better after the serious allegations he gained just a couple weeks prior. So on the 8th of June, footage will be posted on social media by Ian Connor and Bruce Drop 'Em Off that them and Destroy Lonely linked up to take pictures with this help-hating. Now if you didn't know who Ian Connor is, well, he is a fashion designer and was once Playboy Carti's manager back in the day. And if you want to know about his special talents, Google Ian Connor 33, and then Bruce Drop 'Em Off. Well, he's one of the biggest streamers in the world currently, who is known to also dabble in the rap industry. So after videos and pictures of these three started surfacing online, Destroy Lonely got upset, where first Lone would quote tweet a video of the trio together, saying, "On God, I ain't pull up for this you're bugging," which really didn't make a lot of sense. Firstly because Destroy Lonely liked the tweet Bruce put out on his burner Twitter account of them together, and secondly, what do you mean you didn't pull up for this stuff? You're literally there for a reason. The reason that fans thought he switched up so suddenly is because he didn't want to be spotted in public with Mr. Ian Connor 33, who has entire history books of allegations against him, which I guess is valid from Lone, but maybe he shouldn't be hanging out with him in the first place instead of complaining after he'd been spotted with him in public. Lone would then follow up with another tweet: "Never said I was going to be on stream, never asked to be recorded, asked you not to post our picture, I said I F with you, but I'm tired of people using my face." Where Lone directs to Bruce that he never agreed to his Twitch stream, which was because earlier Bruce announced on stream that Lone agreed to get on his stream, but he just doesn't have a time yet.
These are Destroy Lonely's exact words, chat. I fuck you, bro. We gotta do a stream. All right, now I'm not gonna give y'all a date, but yes, everything was vlogged. Not conversations, but yes, everything was vlogged. So be on the lookout on the Breaking Dones channel.
Now I doubt really Bruce has any reason to lie, however we cannot confirm that. Then the second part of Lone's tweet: "Never asked to be recorded, asked you to not post our picture, I said I F with you, but I'm tired of people using my face." The issue people had with this part of the tweet is that watching the vlog footage and pictures, Lone clearly was enjoying his time there and was posing for the camera. I mean, he said, "I'm tired of people using my face," but realistically, Bruce doesn't need Destroy Lonely for clout. I mean, he only posted their picture on his burner Twitter account, so it's not like he was using it for interactions on his main account. Fans also started hating Destroy Lonely and the fact that he was playing too much into the Opium mysterious aura thing at this point, which left fans leaving comments such as, "Got lashes from Carti for not being mysterious enough. These Opium fellas getting corny, and this mysterious gimmick is getting really corny." So it seems like even fans found the way Lone was acting to be corny. Bruce would then give his side of the story on stream, where even Bruce says that if Lone didn't want to be recorded, he could have just asked, and that Lone had his own cameraman there, so why is he upset?
So look, the thing about it is, bro, I'm not even gonna talk too much about it, but he had a cameraman there too, gang. Like, niggas had cameras there, bro. If he didn't want to be recorded, he would have let me know, and then I would have turned the camera off. My cameraman very respectful type shit. Like, it's no problem, chat. Don't think that it's a problem. That's very mixy. I'm not, you know, okay, like, okay, like, I know y'all seen the DMs and shit, like a nigga mixy, you feel me? I'm slime, I'm YSL and shit. But you feel me? I ain't mixy, twin. Like, I don't really care to use people's faces for, like, you feel me, fame, bro. If that's the case, I would have stayed sucking Carson that.
To end it all off, Bruce would start making fun of Destroy Lonely on stream, sarcastically saying that he messed up the Opium store run.
Right. I understand, like, no bullshit, like, I didn't tell a lie. And I completely understand where my boy Bobby coming from, bro. Like, no, like, I fucked up, bro. I got the banana backwoods instead of the Russian cream from the store. Like, I'm not trying to lose my Opium cosign, bro. Like, this is everything to me right now, chat. Like, I f***ed up the store run, nigga. I'm the one that got to deal with that that night, gang. Like, I'm the one that's in the studio late night, making sure these niggas got backwoods, making sure these niggas got double cups, making sure these niggas got clean Sprites to make dirty, chat. Y'all don't get it, bro. I scraped the ground from my first post on Instagram is Carti, nigga. You feel me? This shit get deep, chat. Oh, my mama get deep. That's what I'm telling y'all. Like, y'all don't get. That's why I had to stream at 419, so y'all niggas know I'm not playing, bro. I swear to God.
So overall, it seemed like this interaction with Bruce and Ian Connor only worsened Destroy Lonely's image, which already was down since the allegations of his arrest. But Lone would continue making fans unhappy after he put out a story on his Instagram which read, "Ain't near start a rollout," which seriously made fans concerned after he already lied about releasing the album in April 2 months back, and now he hasn't started a rollout. Fans want the album like right now. But eventually, it seemed like Lone would start the rollout of his third studio album, Love Lasts Forever, by dropping the single Love For You and by putting out a series of tweets where he stated that the album will be dropping in June. Now, this single wasn't greatly received as fans didn't like the new style. Nevertheless, we're still anticipating the album to be dropping soon. Well, that was until horrifying information was revealed by Destroy Lonely's ex-girlfriend, Ayesha Mia. So Ayesha, aka Amani Childs, would begin her series of tweets by saying, "I feel like when I say don't talk about me, I mean it, always respectfully," which is obviously not directed at a particular person. However, with the recent events surrounding her and Destroy Lonely, it can only really be aimed at one person. And it seemed like this tweet was basically a message to Lone, like, "I told you to stop speaking on my name, but you didn't, so now I'm going to expose you," which could mean behind the scenes, Lone was spreading false information or talking down on Ayesha, which aggravated her and caused her to start this. Her second tweet would read, "Now Bobby, why are you in Paris following my best friend in the club to the bathroom? With your security to talk to me?" Where she then attached a video of Destroy Lonely following supposedly Ayesha's female friend into the bathroom, where he started begging her to delete the video as it could damage his career.
Tell her what you just said. No, no. I'm being so 100. I would never ever in my life. I would never ever in my life. Tell her. This is between us. Tell her how much you love her and what you just said.
So from the end of the video where the woman said, "Tell her how much you love her and what you just said." So it seemed like before the woman started recording, Lone was trying to talk about their relationship, which could have been what Ayesha was alluding to in her first tweet about "Don't talk about me." The video was also taken on the same night Lone was in the club in Paris, where he was spotted licking the Clermont twins. So it seemed like he got into his feels and started thinking about the good times he had with Ayesha after he saw one of her friends there. Anyways, the poses Lone pulled in this video got completely memed by fans, with them creating memes such as this one where they attach lyrics from one of Lone's songs saying, "No, I don't abuse women, but they getting hit. How fellas get when you up the pole," and then probably my favourite one, "Your final challenge, don't beat your bit," where they show all three Opium members with WWE allegations replying back, "Hell nah, yo ass tweaking Jigsaw." Now honestly, we shouldn't be laughing at these, however it really shows us how insensitive Opium and underground fans are in general, which goes back to my point earlier. These fans simply do not care. You could commit a mass murder terrorist attack and as soon as you drop an album or a single, they will start treating you like God again. Again, as I said earlier, all your favorite rappers have domestic violence allegations. Ken, Carti, Uzi, X, and now Lone, yet no one cares and they continue being some of the biggest artists in the world, which I guess is predominantly due to the young audience. As if this was an artist or celebrity in any other industry, allegations like this would completely sabotage their career. So let's actually get onto the allegations and more of what Ayesha had to say. So the next tweet Ayesha put out was incredibly graphic. She first said, "Cracked my head open in Germany after pushing me into a bed frame and then threw all my into the hallway, all because I was tired and didn't want to get up at that exact time and roll up." Where she then attached 4 images, the first one of her head and hair being completely covered in ketchup, the second one being ketchup all over her hands, presumably from touching her head, the third image of all her belongings in the corridor, confirming the fact that he threw all of her stuff into the hallway, then the fourth one being of what it seems like her on some hospital bed with a patch of ketchup on the sheets, which I'm presuming came from her head. Now this tweet is Ayesha stating that Lone allegedly assaulted her by throwing her against her bed, which led to her head being cracked, which was apparently entirely due to her not wanting to get up and roll for him. Now personally, I doubt this situation was entirely caused because she didn't want to roll up. I'm guessing it was more so of the situation developed into an argument which caused this. But even so, no argument or altercation should turn into this, which honestly is shocking and genuinely disgusting. Now of course, we had two different reactions from the fans. Firstly, the ones that were denying it and just cracking jokes at the situation. Lone would never do this. AI is getting crazy, which I'm guessing was sarcasm, but nevertheless. He's part of Opium, that's like one step of joining, and not one fella in that label got morals, man. So it seems like many of Lone fans were completely ignorant to what happened. However, there was also many who genuinely realized the seriousness of the situation and commented on the accusations of what happened in Germany. Man, this has got to be the most bothersome genre of music to enjoy, and it not even be because of the music. Like, why can't these artists just not be pissed off? Like, is that hard? Half of the underground scene are EDP 445s and the mainstream guys keep women. It's a lose-lose all around in hip-hop, I swear to God. Where honestly they are stating facts. It's actually incredible how, I would say, the majority, like a solid 70% of these artists have disgusting allegations against them and still manage to have a flourishing career. Ayesha's next tweet would be, "Crybaby ass fella, mad over Lucky. You verbally abused for an entire flight to Germany, and when I finally snapped and hit you tricked me and then called my mum to play victim." So it seems like the next incident they had was actually on the way to Germany, which was before the previous incident with the bed frame. So it seems like Lone has a series of disgusting allegations against him, and it's not just on one occasion. So the first part of the tweet, "Crybaby ass fella, mad over Lucky, you verbally me for an entire 21-hour flight," which is her suggesting Lone got upset with her about something to do with the rapper Lucky. And at first, fans were confused. What does Lone have anything to do with Lucky? Well, fans started doing some digging, and what they found was shocking. Going all the way back 133 weeks ago, we can see Lucky commented on Ayesha's Instagram post, Illest. Using more of Ayesha's Instagram, we can see Lucky was liking her Instagram posts. Fans did more digging though, and using lyrics from Lucky's Gemini album, which released a week prior to this incident, more evidence started piling that Lucky and Lone had some type of beef. From the song Bigger Vel with Lil Yachty, Lucky said the lines, "Bad karma cause looks can kill," which is of course Lucky referencing Destroy Lonely's second studio album If Looks Could Kill. On the song outro, there will be many lines supposedly aimed at Lone. "I gave you the swag from your dad, you hope I don't notice, but it got a tag. He richer than me, a fact, I hit her first, so probably he mad. You're making your city look bad, I hit a Rolls Royce hoe in a track." So the first line, "I hit her first, so he probably mad," is Lucky referencing to the fact that he linked up with Ayesha first before Lone. This would be further backed up by fans after they found Ayesha and Lucky in old vlog footage where they can be seen being very close.
Put me and Ayesha on your camera, bro. Real crybaby.
Whatever.
Real crybaby.
Now, there would actually be more evidence to back this up. Ayesha would actually post this song on her story, with the song being at the 39-second mark, which is the exact time in the song Lucky says the line, "I'ma trust you if you look like Ayesha," further supporting that the two had a close relationship. Then again on the same song outro, he said, "It's about a bitch and it's going to go against you," which if it is aimed at Lone, Lucky is suggesting that their beef is based around a woman, and whatever ends up happening in this altercation is going to go against Lone, which it seems like it has, as now the two supposedly fought over a woman and now Lone is getting exposed online. On the song Kylie from Gemini, Lucky would say, "I had a rapper hoe in my dick, the fella got fake beef with me," So as we can see from all the evidence so far, it definitely shows that Lone was unhappy with the fact that Lucky was seeing his girl. But from the lyrics, it also shows us that Lucky isn't too bothered and it is really a one-sided beef. Lucky would also basically confirm that this beef is true, as he would like a tweet of a fan speaking on the situation. Now, let's continue with the tweets from Ayesha, as there is many more. So now, after the previous tweet of her saying Lone was mad over Lucky and they fought over their 21-hour flight, she said, "I'm so over this LMAO, fellas spent 2 years trying to make me the bad guy and I've been quiet." So what Ayesha could be referring to here is that Lone has been potentially trying to manipulate her into thinking she is the one in the wrong, even though Lone is the one abusing her, which can be seen all the time in toxic and abusive relationships where the victim is being treated like they are the one in the wrong, especially with the fact that Ayesha even stated that she has been quiet for 2 years straight. She would then, "Last time I tweet he said I do it for clout, but baby boy, you knew who I was before I ever know you, and our whole relationship you've been trying to break me apart for having a life before I started dating you. Then wanna hang with people I've been around and talk shit about me, you weird." Which I guess is her pre-firing Lone, saying that she knows he's going to end up saying that she's exposing him for clout, but then she defends herself by saying, "You knew who I was before you knew me." Then she brings up more allegations, saying that he has been trying to break her apart for having a life before they started dating, and that he talks bad about her behind her own friends, which definitely makes Lone look like a weirdo. She then said, "How you create a whole fake world of me and act like you have autism and you were so abused growing up and nobody understands you just to keep me away from all the weird shit you really want to be on and live 2 different lives." Now this definitely makes Lone look like a tier 100 freak. She states that Lone acted like he has autism and was abused growing up. Now I wouldn't be surprised, as Lone did talk about in old interviews how he was trapped in his room all day, had no friends and abused substances. So if he had some issues or disorders, I wouldn't be shocked, but that's not to defend his actions at all, of course. Now I'm guessing the part where she mentions creating the fake world is that when he is in normal day-to-day life with his friends, he doesn't bring up having autism and being abused. But when he's with her, he wants to act all innocent and that he is the victim, which again could go under manipulation. She then wrote another tweet. "We were out once with at least 10 people, we argue, I went to sit in the car for the race over, you take one of my phones to try and stop me, I order an Uber to go, you hop in my Uber and slap me in my face 4 times and then same night you go crying the song with Pink Panthers about it." Now, this one is insane. So she is claiming that they had an argument, she left and sat in the car, but he took her phone, tried to stop her, she ordered an Uber, he hopped in her Uber and her in the face 4 times, and then went and recorded a song about it with Pink Panthers on the same night. Now of course, this claim is insane and is really backed up by the fact that Lone and Pink Panthers ended up releasing a song called Turn Your Phone Off, which could be referencing the fact that Lone tried to prevent Ayesha from calling an Uber and prevent her from leaving. Now since Lone made a song based on the incident, fans started looking into the lyrics of the song. However, there wasn't really anything specific that they could match back to Ayesha's statement. It was mostly just generic love bars. So it seems like this is another claim of Lone allegedly abusing her, which is now the 3rd one from these tweets, and the 4th one if we include the simple battery charge he got. Which honestly at this point in time really shows us that this is not fake or just a random girl trying to get clout. This was legitimately Lone's ex-girlfriend who is taking him to court and has picture proof and multiple stories of this happening. I mean, even the songs he released match up with what Ayesha has to say. Ayesha would continue putting out more tweets though. You try to install this dark nobody can know what we do life and act like I post myself anywhere, you'll lose aura points. Cried over every pic I ever posted, called me a user anytime I posted anything you ain't want me to post, now you're exactly where you want to be. Which honestly is just her reinforcing the fans' opinions that Lone is trying too hard to keep his mysterious opium aesthetic, which you'll remember with the Bruce situation earlier on in the video. Now it seems like Lone was also very controlling in this relationship, as Ayesha stated that Lone always complained every time she posted herself that he would lose aura points and also insulted her when she posted stuff he didn't want her to post, which of course doesn't make him look great. She would then put out a tweet about his arrest where she said, "Never called cops on Bobby, arrested the day of, we fought for hours in an apartment and downstairs and he started shouting that he didn't know me and I'm a hoe. Already dating for a year plus. then slapped me on the floor in front of security guard, 2 grown men who then called cops on him. So of course, this is her describing the day Lone's arrest took place, where she explains that the two were fighting for hours before his arrest, until they took it downstairs near the lobby where he started shouting at her that he doesn't know her and that she's a hoe, where he would then slap her on the floor in front of the security, which ended up calling the cops on him. So it's clear Lone is an alleged serial abuser at this point, and Ayesha has multiple witnesses to back her up. She would continue with her tweets, where this time she said Lone wouldn't let her listen to certain artists. She would say, "Just weird AF. I couldn't even listen to Don Toliver. Anytime I tried, he either made fun of me or calling him happy or a funny guy. Then the second we stopped talking for a month, you go record music with him and send it to me verbatim. Now I see why you like him so much." Now, unfortunately, amidst a series of horrifying allegations, this one is the one that got memed the most. I mean, why is Lone calling Don happy and a funny guy for literally no reason? It's not like he even runs with the sus vamp persona. That's literally what Lone and Carti do, the bisexual vampire image. I mean, Lone even wears eyeliner. So why is he flaming Don for being homosexual? And what's even funnier is that he said this before he recorded with him, but once he recorded with him, he then changed his opinion and told Ayesha, you know what, he's actually fire. A fan would completely meme this one. This guy would say, when Lone catches his girl listening to that new Don Toliver, where he then played a clip of this basketball player getting tackled to the ground. Then this one where they literally memed Lone himself. Lone when he heard her turn on that new Don Toliver, where they attach a picture from the bathroom video earlier on. Now jokes aside, again, this is terrifying. Lone again showing his controlling personality, not allowing his girl to listen to a certain artist, which if you remember the XXXTentacion situation, when his girl started singing along with another rapper's verse from one of his songs, he ended up playing WWE with her. She would then put out another tweet. Every fight has come from me either saying no or wanting to leave his physical presence, or me having my own mouth and thoughts, then playing manipulation games and trying to blame me. I've snapped back out of protection for myself multiple times. I don't wake up and beat on anyone. So again, this is Ayesha suggesting that Lone has very controlling behavior, and that every fight or argument starts because she has her own thoughts and actions, which Lone doesn't like, showing his manipulative personality. Ayesha also says that she herself has snapped back out of protection of herself, meaning that she literally has to defend herself when Lone does something like this. She would add, in Tokyo he wanted me to go one of our friends' events, we had just argued so I wanted to chill instead. Verbally I leave hotel, you follow me for the entire 20-minute walk, I give up and walk back to the hotel. You stop and choke and drop me 3 times by the neck at the addition, and wow, this is genuinely scary. So the fact that he was doing this on so many separate occasions is horrifying. Like, this was not just a one-off occasion where he can get away with it saying, oh, it was a mistake, I've changed. This is now adding up to almost 10 times. Ayesha would continue with more tweets. Called me your wife ring, and all you got is me and music. Act like you're in it for other reasons, talk shit about everyone, you then turn around and smile in their face and talk about me. You have no loyalty to anyone. You knew this was coming, that's why you hid from me since. So this is Ayesha saying that Lone is very disloyal and talks bad about everyone, which honestly is the least terrifying thing we have learned about Lone today. Not letting anyone take my character when I really just be chilling and unbothered and never speak on anything. On his birthday last, I wore a white dress for him, he loved it. Then the second we get around Carti, he go tell me I embarrass him. I wore that dress so Carti could see my puss, then call me a whore about it for months. Fella, you are embarrassing the F. Now it seems like Lone is some sort of bipolar. Ayesha is saying that Lone requested for her to wear that dress, but as soon as they're around people, Lone starts calling her out for it. Now, the next tweet is crazy. Broke up with him because the second to last time we were together, he had a sharp object in his hand in front of everyone we know, and said word for word, I'ma sleep this B. and we were apart for 3 months after. This all came from him finding texts in my phone saying I might break up with him when we back from LA cause I ain't feeling his energy anymore. We tried to fix that but he kept playing victim. You hid in LA and Miami and didn't want to come home and tried to tell everybody you single. Mind you, I'm really just at home ignoring you blowing on my phone all day and night. Then flew to New York about a week and some change ago and tried to get me back. Like you can die where you are for real. Which is just Jesus. Like I really thought Carti had bad allegations, but this is way worse. So now having a weapon in his hand and threatening to put her to sleep, this man needs to be put away. He is a serious danger to women. Now this incident all stemmed from him finding texts on her phone saying she wants to break up with him, so he's pulling out the "if I can't have you, no one can have you." Like she suggested that she's going to break up with him, so he pulls out an object and threatens to put her to sleep. Crazy. Now Mia would end off her expose with one final tweet which read, "I have my reasons, we all do. The more Lone told me I was a user and didn't actually love him, was mind games enough?" Which again is her suggesting Lone has manipulative behaviour. So before we move on to Lone's response, to summarize what Aisha said, she states that Lone was allegedly abusive and manipulative for over a 2-year period with anecdotal and picture evidence, and I mean an ongoing court case. Some of the stories Aisha showed us is genuinely crazy though, like those pictures with the ketchup was shocking. Now Lone would take to Twitter to respond and give his side of the story. He would first say, "Who's mad?" which he would instantly delete, which honestly is just a shocking response when someone has just came out and said you allegedly abused them for the past 2 years, but I guess he has to retain them Opium aura points or Carti will fire him. He would then say, "Everybody know the true story, not doing no clout cap for you." Now, I'll be real, I know you're the son of Carti, but you can't lie your way out of this one. Aisha has so many stories, evidence, and an ongoing court case with witnesses for her to be lying. I don't know why Lone said true story as if she could be possibly lying. And if she is, why don't you come out and tell your own side of the story? Because we all remember what happened with the SSG Kobe. He had allegations against him, he let the rumors speak for him instead of coming out and clearing up the situation, and now his career is dead. Lone would then say, "Bitch, beat on me 1000 times when I post a fake ass injury, never nobody's skull, ask my manager." Now, of course, your manager is going to back you, he's on your payroll. So now he's saying she beat him, which could be a possibility. We can't just doubt anything he says, as men also get abused, but we don't have his side of the story, so we can only really run with what she said. He then said her injuries are fake, which I'm not sure how you can even fake that. In one of the pictures, she literally looks like she's in some type of hospital bed. I mean, if this was seriously fake, like completely utterly fake, don't you think Lone's team or label would try to take this down or disprove it? Or, I don't know, sue her for defamation? Like, since no one is retaliating, I doubt she is lying. Everybody who know me in real life knows this ain't facts or me. I'm not proving myself to the internet or no woman. Yeah, so he's running with the "if you know me, you know I wouldn't do this," but unfortunately that's not how it works. Then Lone's final tweet would be, "I'm grown AF, aura? I just ain't care to post you lol, get your followers and sell your shoes." Which is him addressing his aura and that he doesn't apparently care about it. Which had fans in meltdown, like the comments to this tweet are something else. This fella is so guilty. Yep, I mean, come on, she's got paragraphs of allegations against him and he sat yapping about who's mad and aura. You're indirectly lowering Carti's aura, stop tweeting. Bros acknowledging the aura accusations before the abuse allegations, which, yeah, that was my point. Like, you have all of these allegations and you're seriously sat here yapping about aura, like what is wrong with you? So Lone would end up deleting all the tweets and never really give his own side of the story. Now, I think this was one of Aisha's friends and she would come out on Twitter and actually address Lone's response, where in disgust she would say, "Who's mad? Yes, hoes are mad. You still running around chatting about a bitch you claim to hate, whole time you're down bad about her, you are a sick." To which he would reply with, "Down bad? You're tweeting about me, not the other way around, NFAO. I don't care about this internet stuff, I'm not going going to for this. She would then tweet again, "Keep my name out your mouth, you stood in the bathroom pleading about how you will love her forever, begging to get geeked is crazy you weird ass, talk about why you came in there to begin with." Where he would reply with, "To piss? Are you dumb or stupid?" Damn, he hit it with a two-piece. Every bathroom in Parisian clubs are unisex. Never even knew you was in there. Never said I love that hoe. Forever said 1,000 times I got a new girl. You pull your camera out like a weirdo, then ask me for be real. So you can see, now he's cleared up the fact that he was going to use a toilet as he didn't know she was even in there, and all bathrooms are unisex. His side of the story is believable. But this is like the only part of the allegations he's cleared up. The rest is still to be answered. He would then follow up with, "You're literally in the video, you'll want to post laughing and smiling with your best friend ex, but I'm weird because that makes sense." She would then respond with, "Lone, be so effed for real right now, like I said, keep my name out your mouth because I know everything in real life," which this one doesn't really make much sense because she tweeted at him first. To which he would reply with, "Shorty, you be for real, I ain't got no cap for these fans in my body, this can go up right now." And after all of this, Lone would deliver his final tweet, "Glad you'll made this girl famous so she can leave me the F alone." Now, after all these allegations, as you can see, many people were disgusted by Lone's actions. However, many fans were also concerned about that his album was no longer going to be dropping, as he promised it would drop in June. But all these allegations coming out in the second to last week of June, I'm pretty sure Lone is going to have to take some time off the internet before dropping again. And I mean, if he does ever drop his album, Love Lasts Forever, it'll be a pretty ironic name, because after this situation, it seems like love definitely does not last forever. Now, after all these allegations of abuse, literally everyone in Lone's past would start coming out and exposing him. Firstly, we would get this guy showing proof that Lone scammed him for a beat placement like 4 years back. At Destroy Lonely, you still owe me a beat placement, champ. Scamming people wanted to work before you even took off is crazy to me, lol. Let me know if we can work something out. So in the DMs he said, "On my way home, boss, we'll let you know when I've sent both. What's your email? darkworldlonely@gmail.com. Yo boss, hella late, but I got the beats ready and cash ready. Whenever you ready. Bear, send them now, I'm in the stew." Where I'm presuming he sent a picture of him in the studio. "You can only do PayPal question mark? Just asking cause that's my girl's and she sleep." "Yeah bro, for now because my cash app blocked." "Sending bro right now in a few, let me know once you get them so I can send cash." Then he shows a picture of him sending $250 to his ex-girlfriend Ariel. And then he shows the last screenshot of him messaging Lone, "Yo bro, have you recorded anything? You planning on sending that song anytime soon? Yo bro, can you send the dough back? I know you've been busy and all. Let me know, question mark, question mark. So yeah, Lone scammed him in the April of 2021, which was around the time he was blowing up and got signed to Opium. Then the guy that got scammed, he would put a reply to this saying, "To anyone actually bothered about this lol, I'm aware this is older shit LMFAO, I'm just doing this for the plot of the woman." But then Destroy Lonely would continue his insane crash out speedrun where he would beef some irrelevant rapper called Dead to My City, where they went off in DMs. And this was actually recent. So Kirko posted, "Destroy Lonely had a heated exchange with an Atlanta rapper. Quote, yo pinky toe can't compare to me." So Dead to My City would first post Destroy Lonely begging from that video in the bathrooms earlier on and at him, where Lone would reply to the story saying, "Stop sucking a dick and take that cross off. You are a clone and a funny guy and a pussy, and you gonna be on the south side forever with a fake ass chain, laughing emoji." Where the guy would reply with, "LMFAO bruh, you bout gay ash. Fella, you gay, you wearing a chain of a gang you're not even in." So I'm guessing what, the guy was wearing like an upside down cross even though he's not Opium? "I'ma see you remover, I seen you at a test show and you told. Praying to get blessed and all that dick sucking you doing. LMFAO boy, your gang don't fuck with you. You better hope you don't see me fella, you a bitch boy. Brah, all this talking. Where you at? In real life, it's been 3 years, nobody coming to see you. Laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji. Pack it up. You a bitch, I see. You a hoe. No, I'm just rich, so leave it. You ain't even talking about P. Bruh, I'ma beat you so bad on God. You one hoe ass fella. You in Paris talking like you round the corner, you pussy. I'ma grab that chain. I can't wait, twin. I really can't wait. I'ma be so proud of you. Kissing emoji. You left your own bros. I go to war with fellas who can't afford it. Fella, I got money too. Barely, twin. Yo, that is crazy. He said barely.
Imagine another man telling you barely have money. Let's go rack for rack. You posting your whole life on Instagram. Fella, I ain't going shit for shit with you, fella. Yo, pinky toe can't compare to me, fella. Try M for M. Yo, you got him there. Forget going rack for rack. Learn trying to go M for M. Fella, gay Ash. Show me 100,000 spent, not in an account. Show me a car or a home or an asset or a lease in your name. Broke bitch. I got all that. So, you know, in this screenshot, you guys might think it's funny that Lone's flexing and all, but in the replies, fans were actually disappointed at Lone because, you know, after he got fame and clout, it really seems like he's doing more of this flexing and being a, how do you say it, nicer, just arrogant. Before Lone was really this big rapper, he wasn't acting like this. For example, some of the replies to this post read, "This isn't the top floors we know, broken heart emoji." Being a Lone fan right now, where the guy put a picture of the guy from SpongeBob saying, "Can't let gang know I F with this." Destroy Lonely fans right now, where he showed the picture of Lone in the bathroom with his hands on his hip. Okay, this one's the best one. Someone put, "Lone did what he had to do. This goofy thought he could disrespect the 5 like that. No B, it's the OO. Lone don't play about his gang." So yeah, you guys can see this entire situation, everything together, the abuse, this DM stuff now, not one single Opium fan took it seriously. So now the real question, should we believe these allegations? Well, personally, I'm going to give you guys 2 opinions, but personally, I think the evidence is pretty damning, right? There's an official court case, she's got images of her being, you know, pretty damaged. I'm trying to not get demonetized. And then especially Lone with his awful comebacks, like if he was actually innocent, I feel like the way he would respond to the situation would be completely different. But then we've got the other side of the opinion, and some people are saying, yo, if there's no concrete evidence, if there's no like video evidence of Lone hitting her, then I don't believe it, which I actually watched Blackboy Max react to this earlier, and that's what he said, so I'll show a clip of that.
All I'm saying is, where's the evidence of him hitting her? If there's no evidence of anyone being hit, it do not make it 100% a fact. It's simple logic. That's so fucking simple to understand. That's so simple. So we gonna continue doing this and we gonna see. Y'all, you know how many times niggas been lied on? That's all I'm saying, bro. That's literally all I'm saying. That's literally all I'm saying. If a bitch come out tomorrow and say, Blackboy Max, he smacked the shit out of me, I hope niggas wouldn't just be like, oh no.
Ruby Rose would be one of the first public relationships fans would see Carti in. However, it would quickly go downhill, as Carti and Ruby would get into many disputes, with one of them even getting Carti arrested. Ruby Rose and Carti would meet through a mutual friend, Ian Connor, around 2013. Where they became very close, as we can see from these romantic tweets by Ruby. But to people in the scene at the time, it seemed quite weird. Now this was because Ian Connor used to literally date Ruby, so it's kinda odd. But anyways, back in 2013, Carti was hanging around with Awful Records, meaning he was a broke, underground SoundCloud rapper, which caused Ruby to keep him in the friend zone for the time being.
We were friends first.
Okay.
And like while I was in high school, and like I remember the first time we met, because we would talk through Twitter and like text and shit.
But after Carti signed a multi-million-dollar deal with Interscope Records and became A$AP Rocky's protege, the two would start dating.
He would always try and flirt with me, but I wasn't feeling him then yet. Like it wasn't until like a year into our friendship when we started getting freaky.
When he was like way more famous and
No,
way richer?
he's still like, no, no.
During this time though, Carti would still be living at Ruby's house in Atlanta, where he would get up to normal Atlanta things, such as using her balcony as a shooting range. But as Ruby stated herself, the two were crazy in love, so she probably just let it slide. But also being crazy in love led to them making some rash decisions, which nearly ended in Ruby getting shot. One day as Carti was trying to leave the house and catch a flight, Ruby would hide his phones as she didn't want him to leave. This would lead to Carti getting pretty heated and getting into an argument with Ruby. He had to leave, but Ruby was hiding his phones, so to intimidate her, he got one of the guns and shot it in the air.
We got in a little argument because I hid his phones before his flight, and it just was like we were outside. He like, it wasn't directly at me, it was just more like in the vicinity.
Now this wouldn't be the only time catching flights caused the two to have a scuffle, as in 2017, Carti and Ruby Rose would get at it again. The two were at LAX, ready to enter their terminal, where Carti asked Ruby to call her mother to check in, but she didn't want to. As Ruby declined, Carti took matters into his own hands, as he would attempt to snatch her phone. This would lead to them getting into a bit of a scuffle, pushing each other back and forth. Carti would eventually get fed up and grab her by her backpack straps and drag her out of the terminal into an Uber, to which she would retaliate by slapping him in the face. A bystander at the airport would end up calling the police, where they would arrive and arrest Playboy Carti. An eyewitness revealed to police that she saw red marks on the woman's chest, but cops say that they did not see any physical injuries on her or Carti. He would be then taken in and charged for misdemeanor domestic battery and hit with a $20,000 bail, which was posted the following morning. However, sometime later, the LA City attorney stated that they would not file charges, but instead hold an informal hearing with the rapper and his girlfriend to discuss how best to avoid what went down back in July at LAX. Now, after this incident, their relationship would continue getting worse and more toxic. In an interview with academics, Ruby would share a story of how Carti got salty that she took a picture of a male friend, which led to Carti admitting that he was cheating on Ruby. Just have a look.
So I went to, it was for Howard's homecoming. I hosted a party in DC for Howard's homecoming. I took a picture with one of the party promoters. In the picture, kind of not like went up, but kind of went up. And he saw the picture. He ended up seeing the picture and was upset about it, but we talked about it. And like I like explained to him like it was just a friend. I showed him like the guy's girlfriend. And then Uzi sent him the picture and was like, and then after Uzi sent him the picture, he was like, oh, my niggas are, just like it made the situation 10 times worse.
After that incident, Carti and Black China would be spotted multiple times, which started rumors of them dating. But Carti denied them and stated that
you and Black China had a romp, huh?
Yeah, that's my homie though.
Did she break your heart?
Nah, we ain't that deep. You know what I'm saying?
She let you swing an episode real quick though. Y'all had a little roll around.
Yeah. Good week. Yeah.
It was a good week. It was a good week.
He ain't lying. Good week. But yeah,
Ruby would be pretty upset by all of this, as she felt like she was done wrong. So she would leak her texts with Carti, where he was blowing up her phone with messages that read, "Miss you, like crazy, can't even lie, SMH, you want to be mean to me, I'm obsessed with you, love you Ruby, forever, out you," which Ruby captioned with, "Have fun with him sis," kissing emoji. Then to get revenge, Carti would leak Ruby's number. Damn, I need to check if that number's still working. But Ruby Rose would end up breaking things off with Carti, which she stated was due to the rumors of him being gay and also him cheating on her with Black China. It seems like Carti's first public relationship didn't end on good terms, and to be honest, the other ones that I mentioned in this video don't end on good terms either. After things ended with Ruby and Black China, this is when Carti would start linking with his childhood crush, Iggy Azalea. The duo would first be spotted in the September of 2018, where they would be snapped up by paparazzi leaving a restaurant in Beverly Hills, where Carti would even be seen buying and giving Iggy an enormous pink flower, which sparked rumors of the two dating. In the following months, the two would be continuously spotted in public together, at events such as Rolling Loud in California, at the Allegation fashion show in Paris, and multiple times at different airports, which at this point, it was confirmed the two were together. And the two were in pretty deep. Iggy would be seen buying Carti a Lamborghini for his birthday, where Carti would return the favor by buying her a giant diamond ring, which of course got fans thinking that the two were engaged. However, the two's relationship wouldn't always be so positive, as in late 2019, the two would be victims of a home robbery, where the suspect broke into their Atlanta home and sold approximately $1 million worth of jewelry. But things would get worse, as Iggy would then take it to Instagram to announce that she is now single. But Iggy would backtrack and post additional stories explaining that she was wrong for speaking about her relationship so publicly and that she actually loves Carti. So it seemed like the two were together again. Shortly after this, it would be leaked to the press that Iggy is actually 6 months pregnant with Playboy Carti's child. The two would then be spotted in Australia together amid their breakup rumors, and before you knew it, Iggy Azalea's and Playboy Carti's son, Onyx, would be born in the April of 2020. Sorry to interrupt the video, but if you guys are enjoying so far, I'd appreciate if you could subscribe. I'm trying to get to 20k ASAP. Also like and comment. Thank you, let's get back into the video. And in the media and to the public, everything seemed to be going great for the two. They just made up, Iggy is engaged, and they just had a child. But as we move further into 2020, the dark truth about their relationship would start coming out. Iggy would first take it to Instagram, where she posted stories saying, "You lost a real one. People take loyalty for granted, and that's why I'd rather be alone. What I meant last night was that I'm raising my son alone and I'm not in a relationship. Nothing I said was intended to make it seem like my son's father isn't a part of his life, but I've noticed a lot of people people took it that way, so I wanted to clear the air. Onyx is so loved by his dad and has always had both parents in his life from day one. And Carti would stay pretty silent throughout all of this, until the November of 2020, where he sent out a cryptic tweet which read, "I told that bitch shut up, my son crying." And Iggy would actually respond to this, where she stated that she spoke to Carti, where he told her the tweet isn't actually about her, which, you know, like, okay buddy, what are you talking about then? But what was actually going on behind the scenes was much worse than what it seemed like to the public, which is when Iggy would go on Instagram Live to expose how Carti treated her, and also his affair with his side chick Brandy, who is actually now the mother of his daughter, Eve. But we will talk about that later.
Brandy is Jordan's side chick who he has been f***ing while I was pregnant. You started f***ing Jordan in February. Well, I was, what would that have been, like 8 months pregnant?
So as we can see, Playboy Carti started cheating on Iggy while she was 8 months pregnant with their son, which of course is awful. So after Iggy just exposed to the whole world that Carti was having an affair with his side chick Brandy, she would then go into many detailed stories about the times she caught Brandy lacking.
Started fucking you in an Airbnb that he had rented out as a studio while I was pregnant, since he couldn't play loud music in our apartment.
So Carti was using an Airbnb as a studio at the time, as Iggy was pregnant and he didn't want to bother her with his ad-libs. Well, at least that's what he told Iggy, but it actually seemed like it was an excuse for something else. And even though that Iggy was pregnant and couldn't help Carti, she was still very thoughtful of him. So out of her pure kindness, she sent out a cleaner to freshen up the studio. But that's when Iggy found out what Carti was actually doing at the studio behind her back.
Bear in mind, while my housekeeper comes to clean this Airbnb for these motherfuckers, there's nobody in there the whole time but Jordan and his couple of little friends. She cleans every single room, no one's in there, leaves, says goodnight, forgets her vacuum, comes back in, and who's sitting on the couch looking like a ghost? Brandy. You were sitting in there.
And you might think, well, first of all, it was Carti's first time being caught with a side chick, so now he'll fix up his behavior and apologize to Iggy. And then secondly, well, now that Brandy has been caught, she'll stop messing with a dude who's literally about to have a kid. Well, that wasn't the case for either of them, and the two would keep going at it.
So I go into his side of the closet and I see that there is a girl's little roll-along suitcase in there with some makeup and dirty old trashy underpants. You need to buy new drawers too, girl, now. Come on. Come on now, because those shits were raggedy.
And one time, Iggy would even catch Brandy at their house, where she got her friend to kick her out onto the street.
Raven spared you because we were gonna beat your ass at 3 o'clock in the morning, and instead, you just were out there with no shoes on the street at 3 a.m. looking fucking stupid like a trash bag whore that you are.
But again, this wouldn't stop Carti and Brandy hooking up, all while Carti was making promises to Iggy where he was pleading her to give him time and space so he can focus on his album. So once he releases it, he will have time to step back from music and be a father. Well, as Carti was making all these promises to Iggy, she felt like their relationship was starting to build again, which is when Carti begged Iggy to fly out to Atlanta with Onyx for Christmas.
Begs me, please, I need to see my son on Christmas. Okay, you know what? I don't want to be here alone on Christmas either. I want to be together as a family too, because things have been going cool between him and I. So I want to be together as a family too for Christmas. So I'm like, all right, let me rearrange my whole week and let's get on a plane.
But Iggy would check the flights and there was none available, which is when Carti would tell her, don't worry, I'll get you a private jet. But then Iggy rang up Carti's manager where they told her, Iggy, there's no jets booked. So Iggy then rang up Carti saying, what the fuck, how are we going to get to Atlanta? Which is when he told her,
this is what this motherfucker tells me. I'll be there in spirit. Really? Your son's first Christmas, you'll be there in spirit because you knowingly got on a plane knowing that would mean that me and him were stuck here in LA by ourselves with no tree, don't have a fucking Christmas dinner plan, can't get to my family because they're stuck in Australia.
So to sum that up, Carti left his son and Iggy in LA because he wanted to throw a listening party for Whole Lotta Red. And if we do further digging, well, Brandy was actually at the listening party. So Carti may have actually purposely sabotaged Iggy and Onyx getting there just so he can spend time with Brandy at the listening party. To wrap up Iggy's rant, she would then explain that Playboy Carti knowingly missed his son's birth to play the PlayStation with Lil Uzi Vert.
This man didn't even come to see his son be born. He went to Philly to play the PlayStation with Lil Uzi. He thought that was more important than seeing his son be born. And I had a scheduled C-section.
And to make matters worse, during COVID, you would only be allowed one visitor during a birth. Iggy would of course choose Carti to be a visitor, but of course he didn't turn up, so their son was born with only his mother by his side. Iggy also had to beg Carti to sign the birth certificate multiple times, as he refused to sign it, and from what we know, he still hasn't signed it to this day. And at this point, Iggy has had enough, which is when she would start posting screenshots of her and Carti's DMs, where Carti even made the promise that he will marry Iggy one day. She would put out further tweets which read, "To clarify, this man was literally at my house last night telling me he loves me, so this is very much not me being bitter, it's me not ducking with trifling as shit that happens at the expense of my son. And I've not said anything and could say much more for the longest time because I know the net won't side with me and I'm hated. But Christmas, and this bitch proud of you and her stories, LFAO. I've covered for so long, hoping you do better. A lot of women relate." And what she's talking about in that tweet is Brandy, Carti's side chick, actually posted on her stories like screenshots of Whole Lotta Red saying, "Oh, I'm so proud of you, I'm so proud of you," you know, directed at Carti. In another tweet, she would reinforce the fact that Carti literally asked for this child and wanted it, so why is he now acting like a deadbeat? To end things off and make matters seem even worse, Iggy would go on her Instagram story and reveal that Brandy wasn't the only girl Carti was cheating with, as before Brandy, he was supposedly cheating on Iggy with Brandy's best friend.
So what I'm hearing is that while I was in Brazil last December and Jordan was in Miami recording in the Hit Factory, Little Miss Brandy, you and your friend, whose profile name I will get, and yes, I will put you on Front Street too, that is coming my way soon, were both in the studio, but he wasn't fucking you yet, Brandy. He was fucking your friend.
But as usual, after all of this, Carti stayed silent. Well, actually, he posted some pictures and videos of him and Onyx. Well, that's all that we would get from him. The only thing we would ever hear from Carti about the relationship would be 2 years later in an interview with XXL, where he opened up about his and Iggy's relationship, saying, "And Iggy, she's a great mum. I love her to death. I'm single, she's single now, but that's one of the best mothers in the world. And that's what you got to put in the book, you hear me? I love her to death. She is the best mother in the world." Now this did fool many fans into thinking, "Aw, look how wholesome and kind Carti is." But Iggy would remind the world of how evil he actually is. After a fan brought up what Carti said in an interview, saying, "He said so many nice things." Well, she responded with, "You've been misled. I don't fuck with a man I'm not even remotely on good terms with claiming he pay my bills. I pay my bills." Secondly, saying nice things for an interview sounds great, but in real life he talks to me like shit so badly, I had to stop all direct contact. His team has been calling about the interview, hoping for my silence because they know what my reaction would be. I do appreciate being called a great mum, but when that's not reflective of what he has to say in real life, I'd much rather be left out of being mentioned at all. So from what we just went through, it's quite clear to see how Carti is quite the deadbeat father, but also a terrible partner who cheats and lies at any opportunity he can. Now many of you think this is bad, but at least Iggy wasn't physically harmed. Well, not publicly, but we will get onto that later. As with his next relationship, things turned pretty dark. So after things ended with Iggy, Carti would level Brandy up to main chick status, but things would quickly spiral out of hand. In the December of 2022, Carti and Brandy had been living together for over 2 years, and Brandy was 14 weeks pregnant. However, Brandy wasn't quite sure if Carti was the father, so she brought that conversation up to Carti and had even asked him to take a paternity test, which from what I can read in the report, it seemed like Carti disagreed with whatever Brandy said, leading to an argument which eventually escalated to a physical alteration. Allegedly, a witness tried to jump in and break up the fight between the two, which is when Brandy was able to escape Carti's grasp, where she ran to her car, which was when Carti attacked her again. Brandy told police Carti tried pulling her out of the car and put his hand over her mouth as she tried to use the vehicle's SOS feature to call the police. Cops would soon arrive, where they arrested Carti and stated that Brandy had visible injuries to her neck, chest and back. However, soon after the arrest, Carti's attorney would come out and dismiss everything, stating, "Mr. Carter was falsely accused. Pursuant to my communications with the Fulton County District's Attorney Office, this case will be dismissed without any prosecution or litigation." Which honestly seems crazy to me. Not only did we have a previous domestic abuse case with Ruby, which got dismissed, but now another one just a couple years later. It happened again. with multiple witnesses just for it to be brushed under the carpet. And it seemed like Carti attempted to take any possible attention away from the situation, as after he was arrested, he returned to Twitter announcing new music, edging fans that he was going to drop. Now I don't know if that was his actual intentions, but it definitely seemed like it. And what it also seemed like, Carti even had some type of physical fight with Iggy, which she spoke about on her Instagram live.
We had a huge fight. I'm not even going to get into what happened at that fight. I will spare you, Jordan. I'll spare you that. I'll spare you that for now. I leave because I got scared and came to LA.
So after the 3 public relationships Carti has been in, he's had a fight with each one of them. And that is definitely not a coincidence. And what's worse is that straight after this assault on Brandy, they would be seen out at a fair, at the weekend show, and she was even wearing his merch on Instagram, all after nearly ending her while 14 weeks pregnant. Iggy would catch news of Carti's arrest, where she would come out on Twitter and say, "Been there, done that, warned you," which was aimed at Brandy, probably telling her that being with Carti is a bad choice. She would then say, "Imagine having a pregnant girlfriend and pretending they don't exist, until it comes out you like to abuse them too, and rarely visiting your actual son unless it's because you're running from whatever problems you got going on in Atlanta and the press with your serial abuse of woman." Overall, it seemed like Carti has a long history of abusing, cheating and lying. I mean, he got arrested for domestic violence and shot at Ruby Rose, then cheated on her with Black China. He got into a fight with Iggy, cheated on her multiple times and constantly lied about wanting to build a family with her. Then Brandy, again, assaulted her, and well, I don't know how they're doing anymore, but I doubt they're having a joyous relationship. It's a shame that a lot of celebrities get away with this stuff. Not only that, but a lot of fans turn a blind eye to it. After the immense success of his self-titled mixtape and Billboard charting single Magnolia in 2017, Playboi Carti and his team had decided that he had finally built up enough recognition to be able to sell out shows in Europe. This would lead to Playboi Carti eventually announcing his first fully fledged tour across Europe, which was a statement move in his career. The majority of the venues sold out in just a couple days. For this 3-week journey across Europe, Carti would have hired a luxury double-decker coach, costing him $30,000, which would transport him and his 14-member entourage. Carti would first perform in Germany, where he would stay for 3 days with 3 consecutive shows. Him and his group would then have to travel from Hamburg, Germany to Glasgow, Scotland, with it being around an 18-hour drive. Everything would go smoothly. They would arrive safely and Carti would be able to perform at his sold-out show in Glasgow. Straight after the performance was over, they set straight off down south towards London, as Carti had a show there the next day. However, just about an hour out from central Glasgow, the coach would stop at the Gretna services due to there being a supposed faulty heating system, which was actually a recurring issue and had been happening since the beginning of their tour. They had pulled onto the hard shoulder of the M74 in the early hours of the morning, as Carti moaned that it was too cold on board. One of the drivers of the coach attempted to fix the faulty heating system, but this would only cause more issues to arise, as once the driver switched off the onboard computer, they couldn't get it to start again, leaving them stranded with the doors partially open in freezing weather. Now at this point, Carti and his crew are pretty upset. He's paid $30,000 for this coach just for it to break down, where he needs to be in London as soon as possible, as he's got a show there the next evening. Luckily for them, the coach company had sent a relief coach so they can continue their journey. However, they had to wait around 8 hours for it to arrive, and upon arrival, Carti and his crew were left disappointed, as it did not have the same luxurious facilities that their original coach had. This made Carti pretty furious, which led to him throwing things across the coach and even throwing a bottle at the window, until he decided he had enough and ran across the coach and swung at one of the bus drivers, which left a cut on the driver's face and knocked off his glasses. Now of course, this attack seems a bit random, and I'm not here to just paint Carti as the villain, but I couldn't find any reason online why Carti would have punched the driver. The only thing that could have started a dispute was that Carti was probably upset they had to wait 8 hours and that this new coach was not on the same standard, which may have led to him raising a concern towards the driver, leading to an argument, then Carti swinging at him, as 2 of Carti's tour managers had stated that he had acted in self-defense, as apparently one of the drivers acted aggressively towards Carti. However, what we do know is that on the night of 25th of February in 2018, Playboi Carti would be arrested in Scotland on assault charges. A year later, in the January of 2019, Carti would appear at court in Scotland, where Dumfries Justice of the Peace Court convicted Carti of the charges charges and slapped him with a fine, $570 for the alleged assault and about $350 for the bus damages. However, assaulting his bus driver isn't the only violent incident Playboi Carti would get himself into in 2018. After finishing his European tour, Playboi Carti would return to the UK to perform at the third day of the Wireless Festival on the 8th of July, performing the same day as huge acts such as Lil Uzi Vert, Cardi B and Rick Ross. Everything would go well. Carti would set out on the main stage where the crowd loved him, and once he performed his set, he would go back to his hotel, ready to go back out later that night to party. Once the evening came around, Playboi Carti would head out to Soho's China White, which is an exclusive VIP nightclub in central London for celebrities and members only. At around 3 AM, Carti would be inside, sat at a table, smoking, which unfortunately for him was prohibited while inside the nightclub. This is when a security guard approached him, placed his hand on his shoulder and politely told him that smoking is prohibited in the club. But Carti was alarmed by this random man touching him, which caused him to lash out, punching the man 6 times in the face. These blows sent the doorman staggering backwards, hitting a table, which actually saved him from collapsing. Eventually, the police would be called and Carti would be arrested and charged with assault. A year later, he would return to the UK at Westminster Magistrates Court, which would be just a couple of days after he was in court in Scotland for the assault on his bus driver. The London judge stated, "First of all, I do recognise you're a man who did not have many advantages in his life, who has built a successful career through your own talents and dedication. The facts are that you assaulted a bouncer who is vulnerable by his very job, by punching him 6 times, which was, I am quite satisfied, unprovoked. It was a complete overreaction. We know that 6 months earlier, you behaved in a similar way in Scotland." Carti would admit assaulting the doorman, where he was then set a fine of 14,000 British pounds and ordered to pay a compensation of £100 to the doorman, which is wow. Sorry to interrupt the video, but if you're enjoying so far, I'd appreciate if you could subscribe, like and comment. I'm trying to get to 30k subs ASAP, so I'd appreciate that. Let's get back to the video. £100 to be punched 6 times by a squealing non-binary vampire. In these 2 cases in the UK, Carti was basically let off for free. From his perspective, they were just small fines, which basically allowed him to punch anyone he wants to. However, just a couple years later, this time in America, with a much harsher legal system, Carti would be pulled over in his Lamborghini with a close affiliate, Opium Baby, where in the vehicle, they had multiple illegal firearms and substances. On the 2nd of April in 2020, Playboi Carti and ex-Hollywood actor Jalen Tucker, who you may know as Opium Baby, were cruising around Clayco County in Atlanta, Georgia. However, the Lambo Huracan they were cruising in, which was actually a gift from his fiancée at the time, Iggy Azalea, would have expired tags, causing him to be pulled over by Sheriff Victor Hill's elite Cobra Strike Force, who was supposedly a SWAT team that take down the worst criminals in Atlanta and have previously arrested YSL gang members and many other dangerous wanted criminals. After the police officer told Carti he is not allowed to continue driving and has to step out, well, this is when Carti's bad attitude would start. Carti would first tell the officers, "Take me to jail, I don't care anymore." The car also smelled of weed, which would lead to the car getting searched. Upon conducting a search, the deputy found many substances and 3 firearms in the vehicle. This would get the 2 men arrested, but Carti wasn't finished trash talking to the officers. He would carry on, saying things such as he's going to F the officer's daughter, that he has a hot wife, and that he doesn't care about his exotic sports car because he can just go buy a new one. Carti would end up getting booked for marijuana possession, improperly passing an emergency vehicle, and displaying an invalid decal on his license plate, while Opium Baby would get charged for much harsher gun and drug charges. They were both taken into custody and were facing the wall at Georgia's toughest paramilitary jail, known as the Hilton. Carti would be bailed out a couple hours after his arrest, but Jay would be held due to his charges, where he would be facing a maximum of 45 years. Now, this is usually what happens with celebrities and their entourage. When they're carrying illegal items, it is pretty much their job to take blame for everything, so the rich famous person can be let off as they're of higher status, which is what Jay did for Carti. And if it wasn't for him, Playboi Carti may have never been able to release Whole Lotta Red, as Jay actually ended up doing some time behind bars. A couple years later, Opium Baby would be seen videoing himself in court, ready to plead for his freedom. He would eventually post a story saying, "We just swooped the DEA ass out of there." But what confused me is that in all the papers in the picture, he had guilty circled on all the options, so I don't know about that one. But now that I've covered all of Playboi Carti's remaining criminal history, where I covered the first part in my Victims of Playboi Carti Part 1 video, we can now go into his aggressive behavior in occasions the law didn't get involved. So first, we have to go all the way back to 2015 to the iconic video of Carti fighting Kerwin Frost and Ass Pizza, where Carti was shouting ad-libs after every punch, Ian Connor was acting like his trainer, and the Christmas tree was hanging upside down. But first, I need to give you guys some backstory, as it's more than just a little fight. Back in 2015, Ian Connor would be one of the hottest personalities in the fashion space. He was hanging with the ASAP mob, who during that period were in their peak, modeled for Kanye West, and even labeled himself as the king of the youth, which was because he always believed in supporting the youth, as big companies always capitalized off them with no return. So anytime he saw potential in an upcoming artist, designer or model, he wanted to help them make it big, which is what he did with Playboy Carti, Kerwin Frost and Ass Pizza. Carti at the time was an upcoming artist, Kerwin Frost was an upcoming personality in the space, and Ass Pizza was a promising fashion designer, and Ian basically put them all on. Kerwin and Ass Pizza would become very close friends, where they would hang around Harlem, eventually also meeting fellow-minded young creatives such as Luke Sabat, Sheck West, Ray Martinez, White Trash Tyler, where they would end up forming the Spaghetti Boys, who ended up being a pretty big thing as they released fashion collaborations with Off-White and Heron Preston, hosted all-age parties, and individually all worked with prominent figures within the scene such as Kanye West, the Kardashians and so on. Now as Ass Pizza was getting more popular, he would start getting noticed by blogs such as V-Files, Fader, Complex and No Jumper. Now as Ass Pizza would start getting interviewed by these blogs where he would give us insight about his come up and how he got to where he is today, but what he failed to do was give homage to Ian Connor, as without him he wouldn't be this upcoming fashion dude. But the specific interview that annoyed Ian Connor was the Ass Pizza Fader interview, as it was a huge platform which would have been the perfect opportunity to tell the world how Ian Connor supported him, getting him from this no-name to a respectable figure in the scene, but he didn't. So after it's released, Ian Connor would start calling Ass Pizza out in messages that read, "Pay homage and stop showing off, it's a matter of respect, you ain't just come into existence," which was Ian showing how annoyed he was at the fact Ass Pizza didn't speak about him in his interview, which Ian saw as disrespectful. Later down the line, Ian Connor would befriend another fashion kid who he saw had potential, John Ross, who in the current day has his own brand 7th Heaven and manages Young KO. Sometime in 2015, John Ross would take it to Twitter to expose Ass Pizza and his friends for running a fake brand named Marcel Zago, which was basically a social experiment they ran where they wanted to trick people into thinking it's some edgy unknown designer brand, but obviously it didn't work as John Ross exposed them on Twitter. John Ross would then put out another tweet with the caption, "Don't support Ass Pizza," to which he would also attach an image of messages Ass Pizza sent him saying, "Yo, are you stupid, fella? First off, I didn't make Marcel Zago and it's a joke. Anyway, nice job ruining the joke. Second, don't diss me, your clothes are so terrible lol. I could have put you on, you don't know what I'm working on. I was gonna have you be a part of it, but it's okay. Go have fun with Ian Connor. I'm sure you'll be making big moves for the youth. You're both young visionaries, aka sad." So he basically clowned John Ross and Ian, then made fun of them for what they're doing in the scene at the time. And Ian had enough of the disrespect from someone who he literally made. So he tweeted, "I'ma beat the out Ass Pizza when I catch him, and that's on my worthless life." So at this point, it was Carti, Ian Connor and John Ross versus Kerwin Frost and Ass Pizza. Shortly after this, Ass Pizza posted an apology video aimed at Ian Connor and John Ross, where it looks like he was being held hostage while apologizing. Then he would also post a video on YouTube explaining the situation, how he wants his beef to end and that it is affecting his daily life. Then towards the end of the video, he even challenged Ian Connor to a boxing match to settle it for good. And even though fans love this idea, it never happened. However, eventually, Ian Connor and Playboy Carti would pull up on Kerwin Frost and Ass Pizza. So one day, Kerwin and Ass Pizza were hanging out at Gianna Mora's crib, who at the time was Carti's creative director and worked for the brand Pastel, which was founded by Kanye West and ran by Ian Connor. Anyways, while they were chilling, Gianni would bring something up.
How does it become a thing that that Carti and Ian are gonna come over?
Well, Gianni's like, because Gianni's still friends with them, right? So he's like, yeah, they're coming over, but they're not gonna fight you, man. They're just gonna work. And I knew that shit was a lie. Like, we knew that they were gonna fight us.
But Kerwin and Ass Pizza stayed and continued to watch TV. Eventually, Carti and Ian would arrive, which is when...
So they came, and I talked to Ian for a while. And when he came in, he was just like, throw your hands up, we're fighting right now. And then I stand up and he's like, bro, I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna fight you. But one of you guys have to fight Carti. And then like, I tell Ian like, this shit's not fair, like this is like me and Ian's thing, you know?
Right.
Like Kerwin and Carti have nothing to do with this shit. So then Carti just like gets mad and like hits me, then starts like punching Kerwin.
So you don't actually see that in the video,
No,
the him hitting you part. It kind of looks like he's just going in on
Yeah.
Okay.
So fucking,
And after that is where the video starts, which I unfortunately can only play segments of on YouTube. However, I can explain you through it. The video starts off by Kerwin and Carti stood either side of a Christmas tree hanging down from the ceiling. Then Carti punching a knot down Kerwin Frost while also making but ad-libs while Ian Connor is shouting motivational phrases towards Carti. As Pizza then tries to step in to help Kerwin, where he just ends up getting pushed and tumbling over instead. Then the video ends by As Pizza getting backhanded to the face and falling over again.
They fucking leave or whatever after that fight. And then they said they weren't going to post it or anything, so they posted it.
How long did it take before it went up?
Like 30 minutes.
Okay, and so the entire world is like looking at Twitter, just kind of shocked and in awe that this happened.
And like people are like saying a lot of shit, like we lost or whatever. But if like we won that fight, like no one would have known because we wouldn't have posted it, and it would probably only make things worse.
Now, what confused me and a lot of fans about this is that why are Carti and Kerwin the ones fighting? The entire beef started with Ian being mad at As Pizza. Well, a year later, the Spaghetti Boys would release a video of Kerwin Frost and Ian Connor fighting, which again, why are they fighting? The beef is between As Pizza and Ian. Anyways, we're getting a bit off topic here. In summary, Playboy Carti was used as Ian Connor's Pokemon to beat up two fashion kids. And just a year later, Playboy Carti would get into another violent affair, but this time with close associate ASAP Rocky at the scene. In 2021, actor and artist Kalen Walker came out in an interview with Fox Soul and stated that he had been jumped by Playboy Carti and his goons a couple years back over a girl.
A few years ago, I was jumped by Playboy Carti and his guys for defending a specific woman that they didn't like.
Around 2017, Kalen, Carti, Rocky and some of their clique were at some type of event, where at a point in the evening, Carti and his guys were getting into a disagreement with a woman that was there, which Kalen saw and decided he didn't like how she was being treated.
And they didn't like that woman at that time. So they got offended, like, pretty long story short, words, you defending this chick? You.
Which is when Carti and his guys were like, who the fuck is this dude? Why is he getting involved? So they beat his ass.
So Playboy Carti pushed me in the bathroom along with his dudes and stumped my head in the toilet, stumped my head on the side of the toilet, ripped my ear open. They were stumping my head in. It was like 5 or 6 of his homies stumping my head in the bathroom for me defending a woman that they didn't like.
But ASAP Rocky, who Carti was signed to at the time, saw this and stepped in, saving Kalen.
When they were stumping my head in, ASAP Rocky was there. He pushed between everybody and picked me up, and he carried me to a chair to make sure I was okay. I remember his words. He said, "Shorty, you good? I'm so sorry. Shorty, you good?" And I've seen him cuss out Playboy Carti and everybody. Why the f y'all keep doing this? That's not cool. ASAP Rocky did save my life. That's how he saved my life.
But apart from that, there is not much backstory to this event. Literally no one has spoke about it until Kalen came out in 2021 about the situation. However, all I can say is whatever Kalen has to say about this, take it with a grain of salt, as he's a bit of a pathological liar. He said he was supposed to be the first Black Spider-Man, Future almost signed him to OVO, which is like what? What does Future have to do with Drake's label? And he recently has been sentenced for 50 years to life on a series of sexual assaults. So I actually think we have found a celebrity with a worse history than Playboy Carti. However, I believe this fight to be true, as Carti even stated himself he only beefs guys over girls.
I ain't never got beef with no nigga, bro. All my beefs been about bitches. I'm like, yo, get a fuck. Every beef in my life been about a bitch. On my mama, because I don't talk to niggas. Niggas is cancer, niggas can't say nothing. And niggas, look, only niggas can say to me, they can be like, oh, some niggas can say I changed on them because I thought they was on the same shit I was on, but they not. Or they was on some shit that I wanted to be on, and when I got on that shit, I got on it, then surpassed them, and they was just lost in the sauce. I'm like, damn.
Now in the same year that Kalen came out to expose Carti for what he did, well, Carti would be caught on camera smacking a guy that tried to press him. In the February of 2021, a video would be posted online of a guy running up to Carti, trying to press him after he supposedly was putting his hands on his sister.
Hey, you put your hands on my sister again, boy. Ain't nobody putting nothing on this shit. I'm gonna kill you, gonna kill shit. I'm gonna kill you, gonna kill shit. I'm gonna kill you, boy. I ain't scared of no pistol, nigga.
Carti would reach for his pistol to defend themselves as the two continued to argue, but never ended up pulling it out. They continued arguing for some time until Carti had enough and smacked the dude in his face.
Damn. What y'all wanna do?
After Carti smacks the guy, dude collapses on the floor, ends up making some squealing sounds and runs away. After the situation, Carti would put out a tweet saying, "I knocked bro out, he was being too crazy." Now no one really knows the backstory behind this video as well. It seemed like it was just some clout chaser who wanted to run up on Carti to see what he would do. Many fans even started creating conspiracy theories online about how it was supposedly fake to make Carti look more tough after he transformed to the whole vampire aesthetic for Whole Lotta Red. So in the Playboy Carti Victims Part 1 and Part 2, I have covered all his arrests and major disputes with his victims. However, I don't want to miss anything out for you guys, so in the last portion of this video, I'll be covering the last small incident without a lot of context, just so you guys can be fully informed of Playboy Carti's past. And with this last incident, it'll wrap up all of Playboy Carti's victims. On the 11th of January in 2019, ASAP Rocky would be in Toronto on his Injured Generation tour, with special guest Playboy Carti. They would perform the show, everything would go great. However, sometime after the show, Rocky, Carti and their entourage would leave the venue where they would get into an altercation with some people outside. Things ended up getting pretty heated, which is when someone started recording. There would be around 20 people stood in the middle of the road, all just seen pushing and shouting, with Rocky being the guy in a white t-shirt and blue jeans, and Carti being the guy in black jeans and a blue jacket. Eventually, it seemed like the altercation ended and the two groups were splitting up. However, Carti can be seen walking into the crowd and smashing his bottle over a man's head who's laying on the floor. The video then ends, and that's pretty much all that we would get from the situation. Rocky would end up speaking on this in an interview with Angie Martinez in 2019, where he said it was supposedly Playboy Carti and someone else, and that he wasn't in Canada during that time, even though he had a show on that date.
Homixide Gang are a duo that signed to Opium in 2021, consisting of Atlanta natives Homixide Bino and Homixide Michi. The two would make a pretty good first impression to the Opium fan base with their debut project Homixide Lifestyle. However, soon after, it seemed like Bino would begin getting himself into trouble as fans on social media began coming out with EDP 445 allegations against him. Now in the February of 2023, Homixide Gang would be on tour with their Opium label mate Destroy Lonely for his No Stylist tour, where they would perform as openers. Until midway through the tour, they suddenly announced that they'll be dropping out, which at first, of course, no one thought it was a big deal, until just around a day or two later, allegations would begin circling around social media that apparently Bino was talking to Cupcakes. So the majority of this stuff is deleted and difficult to find, as it's from quite a while ago, so excuse the blurry images, but what was going around social media was this picture of 4 different screenshots supposedly proving Bino was messaging Cupcakes. The one in the top left is a Reddit post that reads, "Homixide Gang are P-words. I was at the show in Indianapolis last night up front. Homixide Osama and the other dude, I don't even know his name, took 2 1-5-year-olds backstage, and even tried getting my girlfriend, who's also 1-5, to go backstage with them. Obviously she said no, but that's weird as F. The girls were obviously underage as well, it's not like they looked old." Now obviously this is just a random fan posting allegedly that another side Homixide member under the name Osama wanted to grab 2 cupcakes backstage. Then in the 3 other screenshots you see in this compilation are Bino supposedly messaging a girl that is 1-6. In the beginning of the conversation we can see that the girl messaged Bino first, asking him to meet up after the show as one of her friends wanted a picture, to which he would respond with saying he wanted to come back to the show and show him only her, which could mean many things. Then in these next screenshots we have, which I'm not sure if they were the same girl, but I'm presuming they are, is the girl saying that Bino was acting like her friends couldn't stay with her, which makes me think he was trying to go somewhere else with her by himself without her friends. Where in the final screenshot it says that the girl was apparently 16. Now of course this doesn't look great. Not only is he texting an alleged cupcake, but then apparently wanted to meet up with her. Now we don't have proof that the girl is actually that age, apart from some guy in the screenshots saying she is that age, and in these screenshots it doesn't seem like the girl even disclosed how old she is. Now am I here defending Bino's alleged actions? No, as it is still his responsibility to make sure he knows the age of the people he's messaging. If he has enough time to text them back and forth, he definitely has enough time to ask their age. Now Bino would actually respond to these allegations by posting a bunch of laughing emojis on his Instagram story with a caption caption, "All your fellas want to play these games." Of course, this response would be shared across social media where fans would respond with, "Looking hella guilty with the 13 laughing emojis." Nah, for real, one would have done the job. Homie put up 46 of those. Seems he got something to hide, LMAO. Now, even though the majority of the fan base didn't take these allegations seriously at all and just saw it as a moment to have a good laugh and make fun of Bino, some fans also realized how damaging allegations like this can be to someone's career and should be actually taken seriously. All jokes aside though, it's insane how fast these rumors spread, and it's all from a post where a guy said Bino wanted to meet up with his friend. No one even mentioned any age, bro probably thought she was over 18. And a month later in the Playboy Carti Reddit, a fan would even make a post asking, "What really happened to the Homixide Gang allegations? I always heard about those allegations, but I never saw like a screenshot or some of a testimony. Only a screenshot I found was the one Bino is making fun of them, which is only making things worse, not gonna lie." Where a fan would respond with, "Dog, that is completely blown out of proportion. I understand why Bino never responded seriously. Nobody can pull up a single screenshot or any actual valid proof of the girl saying her age before they started talking in DMs. She wasn't even the one who exposed him, it was her friend that posted the screenshots confirming the girl's age. Still on Bino to verify her age, but the situation not half as bad as people are trying to make it seem. Personally, so far, I don't think there is enough evidence where we can actually call Bino the P word. So far, keep that in mind. Now, after these allegations came out, fans even began looking into Homixide Gang's song lyrics, where in the song BB from Homicide Lifestyle, Bino said some concerning things. Say she wanna do Molly, no she like 17, which of course doesn't make matters any better. However, a year later in the May of 2024, more allegations would come out about Bino. So this girl who is apparently 1'6" was in a group chat with a bunch of underground rap fan pages, where she would begin explaining how Bino began contacting her and then emailing her, and then the fact that she was screenshotting all of this to save for later to expose him.
So August last year, I was 16. I'm 17 now, I'm turning 18 soon, but like at the time I was 16, and me and my friends, like we all listened to Opium and underground rap, whatever. So I went and I liked like some of Bino's recent posts, and then he texted me saying, "Where are you from?" And I was like, obviously I was a bit like, what the f, because you know it's like someone that I listen to and like I listen to his music, and he's in my DMs. Like I couldn't like fucking process it. I was like, what the fuck? The first thing I did was I took a screenshot, but I took it in like the secret way that people do because it's vanish mode. And then he kept asking me for like my number, but I didn't like have a working number at the time. And then yeah, like he just kept asking for different shit. I gave him my email and he did email me. I think I can find the screenshot. Hold on. You can see in the screenshot it says that R5 Homicide, whatever the turned on vanish mode. He turned it on himself. You know, got exposed like over a year ago. Like people didn't really give a about Homixide Gang, but like obviously like underground and Opium itself, it's grown so much. A lot of people listen to Homixide Gang. Like majority of the people I know that don't even with underground, they know Homixide Gang. My number, and he like in the screenshots that HBK sent, you can literally see he was like, "Hit me up when you get a number, love." He literally called me love too. So obviously he was trying to fucking. And I didn't really have like a working number at the time, so I didn't want to give it to him. So I gave him my email and he emailed me.
Now honestly, this is actually outrageous. He wanted to contact this girl so bad he started emailing her. Now all these messages that were sent back and forth between the two were in vanish mode, meaning they got deleted soon after they were sent, so we only have a couple screenshots of the chat log. Now as a fully grown man, Bino of course should not be messaging teenage girls online, and even worse, being so down bad that he is emailing them. Now even if he didn't know about her age, at this point he is on such an insane spree. I really think it is his fault as he's not taking responsibility of finding out these girls' age that he is messaging. But what I do find weird about the situation is that the girl was basically preparing to capitalize off the situation, as she said herself that this happened over a year ago and only decided to release it to the public because the underground and Opium got bigger. In the end, I guess we can say Bino is a very dodgy guy. Is the P word a bit strong? I'm not sure. More so of a predator if anything. I think the other P word is better used for like some 50-year-old dudes who are actually into children. So that is the allegations of the Opium label, of course with each member having a dodgy past apart from Homixide Michi, with him being the last sane of the Opium label. And honestly, it's a shame that our favorite artists have to spoil things by being bad people behind the scenes. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.